Hey guys, Victor here. I'm going to show you how to install the 10mm Screaming Eagle spark plug wires on a 2021 Street Bob. It's a Milwaukee 114 motor. Okay, you can see they got some pretty skinny plug wires there. Just going to put some 10mm wires on there. I'll show you a comparison. Okay, these are the Screaming Eagle 10mm fat plug wires. I got them in orange. Little performance, better for performance, but also better matching and better looking on my bike, I'm sure. And I'm going to show you how to install it properly, because instructions they give you, well, they suck. Okay, all right, so if we look at the instructions that they give you here, boom. All right, what do we do? Prepare, remove the main fuse, remove the seat, remove the fuel tank for spark plugs. Yeah, I don't know. Next time I remove this fuel tank, the only time I ever remove this fuel tank, it's going to be when I'm upgrading it to a 5-gallon tank. So that ain't happening. It's crazy. You could get to the spark plug wires right here. Remove the fuel tank. That's insane. All right. Remove cable retainers. Okay, nice little overhead diagram. I think of it this way. That's the front of the bike. Okay, and you've got the plug wires over here. Okay, going, and they're routing over to the other side. The long wires go to the right side of the bike. The two short wires are used for the plugs on the left side of the bike. All right, so that's what that is. Not a whole lot of help here in the first page. Okay, let's see. Installation. Apply electric grease to the insides of the coil and the spark plug boots. Okay, that's not too clear. They should specify. A lot of people think that the that dielectric grease gives you a better electric connection. That is not true. The purpose of dielectric grease is to prevent moisture from getting in. And here's the packet of dielectric grease that they give you with it. I already ripped the end off, so we'll be squeezing it out of here. All right. You just put a little bit in the boot. You do not apply it to the spark plug itself. It'll actually screw up your electrical connection. It's like putting a RTV between the spark plug and your electrical connection, which basically impedes the flow of electricity rather than, because it's silicone. See? Silicone's not better for an electrical connection. Okay, so dielectric grease is to prevent moisture from coming in. It's not to give you a better electrical connection. So there's that little bit of information that's worth it watching this video all in itself. And taking that friggin' tank off. They're crazy. All right, so then they show you, they include these straps for installing the plug wires. Okay, so what's that about? Where are you installing straps? Okay, well, basically, if you see where the plug wires come through here, here's the one, and then it goes over, and that's just a flexible hose there. You could just run it right through. No need to remove the tank. But these coolant lines, they tell you to basically run the strap around them and hold the plug wire in place, which they didn't even do that from the factory. So they're not really needed, but if you want to use them, by all means, go ahead. I think I'll use them. I'll try it out, whatever. I'll show you how to do that install. So let's go on the other side. Oh, let's first look at this. Anything else on here I need to know? Nope. See, that's where these, see the cable, that little cable that they're talking about? It's going over the coolant lines. All right, that's all that is. These diagrams, they're not very clear. And they don't tell you a whole lot of stuff. It's not a whole lot involved in installing a freaking spark plug. It's amazing that they wasted the paper, because these directions blow. All right. So moving around to this side, as you can see, I already removed one plug wire. The way you remove these is you got to grab it by the boot, twist, and pull it from the boot. Do not pull it from the cable. You'll wreck them. You may want to keep these as backup. These are still brand new, so I'm going to keep them as a backup. And same thing with the one that goes in the plug. Do not put the dielectric grease on here. So as you can see, the two shorty wires go right here to the plug, to the coil, from the coil to the other plug. They're pretty close, so both the short ones stay on this side. Okay, so I put this on a camera on a stand here now, so just so you can see how to remove them, you grab the plug wire, you give it a little twist back and forth as you're pulling it up, and that's it. Okay, it may take a little force to do that. All right, there you go. See, I did not grab it from here, I grabbed it from here. And then I'll just keep those connected. These are pretty easy to figure out and to route. It's not like a 8-cylinder motor that you need to memorize where the plugs go. Okay, 2 outside, go to the left. 2 inside, go to the right side of the bike. Okay, so the dielectric grease, all you do is you put a little bit on the inside of the boot. Okay, let's get that around there. Its purpose is to prevent the moisture from coming in. Do not fill that boot with grease. Okay, same thing on this side. You put a little bit inside the boot, or you put it on the outside here, because that's where it's going to end up going anyway, because the boot goes on and it doesn't go inside. All right, you could put a little bit on the outside here, or you could just put a smidge in there. Oh. Okay, and when you put it on, just move it back and forth. It'll find its spot, like this here. Okay, and look, pull it off and you can see it's all stuck up all over there on the outside. You're probably even better off just going like this with your finger, putting it on the outside instead of the boot, because you don't really want it on the inside. It's for catching the moisture, you know. So this is actually better right here on the outside of these suckers. Boom. Squeeze a little bit dielectric grease there. You don't need a whole lot. Just a little bit. Just to help prevent moisture from getting in. Okay. It's like a little bit of RTV that's clear. That's all that is. So now I'm going to put that on. Put a little bit more inside that boot right there. Right around the edge. Just, you don't want it getting down to the metal though. The metal piece, because that's the piece that clicks to the spark plug. Alright. And so that's how it's going to go on when I put it on. But first I'm just going to remove all the spark plug wires first. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Should have removed it before I put the electric grease on even. Let's see. I don't even know if the factory put any in. Okay, so now we'll remove the cable from the other side. We'll pull it off and then we'll route it back through underneath. Okay, because you can get underneath there. Here, I'm going to try to lower this a little bit, camera, so you get a better view. Get a little bird's eye view of that, where it's coming from. I'm just going to reach over on the other side. Actually, I could even show you. Okay, so we got a couple things in the way here. These are metal tubes, by the way. So feed the wire through a little bit. Don't pull on the wire. Don't yank on the wire. If you even need to, get a pair of pliers to grab here. There are spark plug wrenches for this, but you want to grab from here, pull out. Here, let me show you. So on this side, I don't have a wrench handy that'll fit in there, so I'm just going to grab it by the wire a little bit with one finger, and I'm going to grab down underneath there and pull with the other. There you go, and that's off. So we just need to feed that back through. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. See this one right here? You could get to this one a little bit better. Hear that? Boom, it's off. And then that one just slides through. I could even push this one through. It'll go through there pretty easy. Well, I don't know how easy, but it'll go through. It's rubber. Go around the other side and pull it through. So I'll continue pulling through. You can see right here where the wire is. And just like that, boom, it's out. So both those cables are off. And now on this side, I'll pull it this one a little bit. Get this one through. Just be careful. There's hoses and wires that they routed it over. So, oh. Just make sure it doesn't get caught on anything. Don't just yank it. And boom, you can get them through. And that's it. All the wires are off now. So the wire I put the dielectric grease for on this side. I'll put this side on last. We'll route the long ones through first. So once again, we're just going to put a little bit of, well, I'll put the dielectric grease in after I route them through. So let's route them through first, just like they were before. This one went through here. Just push it through with your finger. There we go. It's through. All right. We can take a little bit of the dielectric grease now. Put it on the outside of this. There we go. Right around the coil. And that'll get on the rubber when you put it in. And then you can hear it clip into place. You got to make sure that it clips on, snaps in. And now we'll do the other one. First, have yourself a little rag handy to wipe your finger off so you don't get grease all over the place. Okay, now over here, we'll route it through as well. Over this cables, push it through. Let me get on the other side. Pull it the rest of the way through. And as you can see how it goes. So it's just hanging through like that. It's going to go right there. Okay. And then the other part's going to snap right on there. So it's really pretty easy. I don't know why they tell you to take the gas tank off. Kind of crazy, really. Needless. Okay, we'll squeeze a little bit of that dielectric grease there. A little bit on this one. They give you more than you really need, because you can just really wipe that around. Okay. You don't need to slather it all over. Just a little bit's all you need. Keep that moisture out. Just gonna put some on my finger. This one for this one. Boom, boom, boom. I get out of there. Don't want really in a hole. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the other ends that go into the spark plug, I'm gonna put a little bit inside. Okay. Well, they got to go on the inside. See, I'm new to bikes, but I've been a mechanic before for years. See, if you get a bit globbed in there like that, take a screwdriver and just move it around on the sides a little bit. Or even take the end of your, or even take the end of one of these plastic retainers they give you, and you just kind of smear it like a pancake almost like a spreader of some sort. Spatula. You guys spread it in there. It's in. It's in. This way you don't get it all over the metal. I'm going to go do that on the other side right now. Alright, so I already globbed some in there. See that? Decent amount. Probably too much, but all I gotta do is just spread it around so it's sticking to the sides and it's not going to get all over the metal on the inside. It's not the purpose of this. Okay? And then we just hook that cable in, put that down to the spark plug, and try to push down on it. Boop, till you hear that click. Hear that click? Hopefully you heard it over me talking. All right. And see, now that's there you go. And they want you to do is this. They want you to take this now. Let me wipe off the dielectric grease that's on it. And they want you to snap the cable on here. So basically they're telling you to do this. To open this up. Boom. See how that snaps on? Cable just goes in between. Holds it in place, and then you just route the zip tie around the water pipes, coolant pipes, to hold it into place. Not that there's a need to. I don't know why they want you to do that. You know what? I showed you how to do it. I'm not gonna. I think it looks better without it. And it's not really needed. Stock pipes, the stock cables, they're routed there without those holders. I'm not gonna put them on this one. All right, now let me put the other one on. Just moving the camera. Bear with me a second here. Get up into proper field of view here. So you can see what I'm doing. All right. Once again, got it all globbed in there. You can take this or a small screwdriver and just do this too. Spread that inside. Dielectric grease a little bit. You don't want it on the metal piece, once again, just on the rubber boot. Does not make for a better electric contact. Now I'm gonna pull as much as it slack as I need. I didn't hook up the other side yet. I'm gonna feed that down onto the spark plug and just listen for the snap. I don't know if you heard it. Give it a little yank. You can make sure that it is connected there. All right, and it is. Now here, if you want to, I'm going to connect the other side first and then see if those little zip tie connectors will be used or not. But as of now, it doesn't look like it's going to need to. All right, so here we go. The wires, cables coming through here. We already got that dielectric grease on there. You hear it snap into place. Boom. All right. We already got the dielectric grease inside of there. Could even put a little bit more. And then spread it around. Make sure we have a nice barrier from moisture. Keep in mind, you put too much of this shit on though, it may be hard getting the plug wires off at a future date. So now Okay, this is the one that goes onto the plug. And you hear the click. This side goes in there. You want to make sure it's clicking and snapping into place. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to have a little clip that goes in between the two of them. They give you two of these clips. So you put that upside down over here. And make sure these suckers don't get too close to each other. You don't want electric spark jumping in between the two, although it's got a thick rubber coating on there. I don't think it's going to happen. And boom, adjust it for the looks, however you like it there. And that looks good. Doesn't look like we have to put anything on the other side. Doesn't look like we're going to be needing that, at least on the back one. Okay, front one on this side. The bent part like this, not the right 90-degree angle, goes on the distributor. There we go. Okay, you can feel it snap in more than click. And that one's in place too. And that's it. It's pretty much done. I'm going to put the connector between these two. There we go. There we go. Nice job. Looks good. I think the colored cables also give a little more zing to it, make the bike look a little nicer. What do you think? Oh, a little dust in there. She's been in the garage. Needs to be washed. All right. Well, look at that. Looks a lot better. I like the after a lot better. What do you think? All right. Now, this one, see, you could just adjust these cable holders, slide them away as you need. Oh yeah, I got a little dielectric grease on there. See what happens when you use too much of that shit. All right, there you go. It's good. Now, routes around pretty good there. Let's drop it down here. As you can see, it routes around pretty good there as well. It's kind of flopping around a little bit. So it's preference if you want to use that zip tie cable or not. See on the front here. So if you want to make sure where this cable is always going to be at, you may want to use a zip tie cable on that one. Just keep in mind that, sorry, just moving around a little bit. Keep in mind that if you use that zip tie cable on this, there we go, that looks fine. Don't need no zip tie cable holding it down. But if you want to use them, hey, knock yourself out. Just keep in mind you're going to have to cut it off later at a later time if you want to use that. And that's all she wrote. That's it. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And that's how to install a spark plug wires on a Milwaukee 8 114 Street Bob, or just about any Harley bike, but for that matter, but I did it on the Street Bob 2021. What do you think? Definitely gives it a little pow with the colored wires, I think. All right, guys, have a safe ride. Enjoy.